Welcome to Blooming Wildwood Homestead. We have completed another week of the pantry challenge and I hope things are going well for you. Are you finding that you're able to use up some of your items? What are some of the benefits that you've been seeing as you've been going through this challenge? Let me know in the comments below. One of the things that I've noticed this week is that I wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to have been, and it left me with a couple of days where even though I have some of those quick and easy meals, it really felt like it would be just so much easier to eat out. And I know that can be a real challenge when you're trying to make a conscious effort to eat from home. Even when you are doing what you know is a good thing, you still can be tempted by everything that's out there and all of those convenience kinds of things. Today I want to share with you another meal, and again we're going to be using the crock pot. The crock pot is definitely a staple this time of year. It's just so nice to be able to get something started and then be able to spend the rest of the day working on other things and not have to be tending to what's for dinner. I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you today. Last week we talked a little bit about buying in bulk and some of the pros and cons between purchasing things in bulk and buying things in smaller quantities. And today I want to share with you just a little bit about one of my main strategies for filling the pantry. While I believe that it's really important to have some of those staples like flour, sugar, pasta, rice, some of those things that you can store long term and be able to use in a variety of ways, it's also really important to have a continuous stock of fresh items coming into the house, and also fruits and vegetables that you're able to put away in either the freezer or can and put on the shelves. And that's really a big part of my pantry strategy as far as stocking the pantry. So today it's one of those rare days that we actually are getting some sunshine, and I'm just going to take you out. We're going to look at a few things that are going on out and about on the homestead and walk through some of the items that are important for preparing to restock the pantry with items from your garden. Berries and orchard trees all require maintenance during their dormant season, and so today we're going to go and look at what needs to be done, and I'll bring you along with that, as well as share with you the meal that I'm making for today. I don't know about you, but I feel like December gets really cold and rainy here, for the most part blustery, and you finally get a nice day in January and you really want to get outside and have this unrealistic expectation of accomplishing all the things that need to be accomplished. And I just need to be a little more realistic with myself this year. So we're going to take a look at some of the projects that need to be accomplished and see what can actually realistically get done today. All right, so this is one of the tasks that needs to be accomplished. I definitely need to work on getting this cleaned out. I need to get the old canes taken care of, get the new canes put back into the area where they belong. I really did a lot of work last year to try and get the pathways clear, and I would like to get some of this buttercup rounded up and taken care of so that it doesn't take over again in this area. So that's definitely on the agenda, and realistically I won't finish it all in one day, so I do need to be prepared for that. But I think we could make some pretty good progress in that area. I also need to take a look at some of the Marion berries. I did not get new canes strung up yet, and as I'm down here stepping on them on accident, I've got some new canes, which I don't know if you can see them, but I've got some new canes here that need to be strung up and located, and I need to get things put where they belong. So this is definitely something that will need to be taken care of before I get anything down this aisle. Now some of these are blackberry vines that need to come out, so I've got to look for the difference between the two. You can see here I've got a nice cane that really needs to be strung up, and I don't know where it ended up. So I've got kind of a collection of things going on here that's going to require, yikes, a bit of work. This is probably one task on its own as well. So I think this is where I'm going to spend the majority of my time today and see what I can get accomplished. We'll start with the raspberries, since that will be slightly easier perhaps. Okay, well, at least I have a plan now. I needed to go get a couple of things out of the greenhouse, and so while we're here, I just want to show you something super cool that we did last weekend. So check that out. We've got a solar panel here, and then it's hooked up to 2 lights in the high tunnel, and both of these will come on off of the solar light, and it runs off of a remote, so I'm able to get a little bit of light out here for harvesting or planting when it's still dark on both ends of the day. So I'm really excited about that. Now, I've been working on a little side project here, and I wasn't sure if these guys were going to come up, but I started them super early, and I have some peas that are just coming up, and they've been in here for a while, but it just depends on the warmth. It's been pretty cool, and I was afraid they might not have done well last night when it was super cold, but check that out. They are coming along. Looks like it is about 80 degrees in here. What else do we have? Oh, some weeding that needs to be done, of course, along the edge. But I've got some onions, and the lettuce is looking really good. Super excited about that. So we've got some fresh lettuce ready to eat. I've got to get some more started out here, but just a nice start. And then I've still got a couple of cabbage that are ready to eat. This one burst open, which I'm really sad about, but I'm still going to be able to salvage that. So I'm going to harvest that for tonight's dinner, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors, and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can... The hardest part really is getting started. So I've got the first one complete. What I've done here is taken out all of the old canes, and you can tell if a cane is spent by looking at it. This one is clearly old, so I would take this one out for sure. Those I definitely want to take out. And then last year I thought I had pruned pretty heavily and really thinned things out, and I ended up with more canes than I had anticipated. So I'm trying to be a little more, a little pickier with the other ones that I keep. So for example, even though this is a fresh cane, I'm going to go ahead and trim this one out. I'm also going to trim out this one because it's very crooked and bent, and I'm going to have a hard time corralling it into my fenced area, which makes picking so much harder if you have them out into the aisle. So I'm going to be a little bit more strategic with which ones I'm culling out this year. But usually getting started is the hardest part. So hopefully we will make more progress since we've only gotten one done. Oh, and then the other thing is I cut the tips off to try and limit the height here. These particular berries bear twice, so the tops were already spent. As you can see here, these bore in the fall, and so I need to trim them anyway. And then if I can just kind of keep them a bit shorter, it will be easier to pick when they start to bear fruit. Well, it's kind of hard to see here, but I've gotten a bit done today. About halfway down the row, down the center aisle here, and it's a pretty good start. Definitely lots more to do, but we will get back at it. One of the things I was working on was trying to get out some of this buttercup. You can see the roots are something else. So I've been using this cobra head, and I really have to wonder where this has been all my life. Definitely helping with this project. So I'll have to keep after it because the buttercup wants to just keep taking over. That's a good start though. All right, I'm inspecting the inside here, and I think it just popped. We are going to utilize that to the best of our ability, and I think I've got all of the slugs out of here, hopefully.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
working on the raspberries as well as the marionberries, which I know I didn't have time to get to today. Both of those things are really important for my future pantry restock. I love to freeze berries. I also love to use berries for jams, and in order to have a productive crop, I have to do the maintenance on the patch while it's in that dormant season. I hope today inspired you to maybe take a look at what you have going on outside, maybe look at adding some items to your garden that will produce really well for you in the long run, or start planning some things that you might want to put into your garden, because ultimately that's where your best pantry restock is going to come from, is what you can produce in your own garden and from your own yard. I would love to have you subscribe and be part of our community here at Blooming Wildwood Homestead. Until next time, bye everyone.